Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another post-fight analysis video. Women's boxing. Cecilia Brækhus versus Jessica McCaskill. Yeah, man, this was a good one. This is another good women's boxing match here. Jessica McCaskill, she put in that work. Shout out to Jessica. She put in that work and was able to stop the record-breaking title defense of Cecilia Brækhus, who was looking to break Joe Lewis's record of most title defenses, but Jessica McCaskill, she said, nah, I got to put a stop to that, man. I'm ready for this. And just going into this fight here, man, like, I know off of records, a lot of people said, okay, this is the undefeated fighter. This is the fighter who's been in the game for over 10 years now, undisputed champion. She's not going to lose to a 9-2 fighter like Jessica McCaskill. But you got to look at Jessica McCaskill's record. You know, majority of her fights are title fights. You know, she came in this game as an experienced fighter. You know, she came in here as a tough fighter. And she's one of those fighters who didn't need that many fights, kind of like Clarissa Shields, to really prove herself and, you know, show that she's got the guts and the technique to fight. And, you know, she brought it. You know, I think a lot of people were saying this was a controversial decision. I turned to commentating off of DAZN after a while because they kept saying that the fight was even. But I was seeing a high-pressure fight, a very high-pressure fight from Jessica McCaskill, who was really putting it on Cecilia Brækhus. Like, right from the jump, Jessica, she put the pressure on Cecilia. She was forcing the fight. She wanted to fight. She didn't want to box from the outside. She didn't want to box a match. She came on the inside, started landing some good double jabs, square on the nose of Cecilia Brækhus. Like that opening minute, you could already see the reddening on Cecilia Brækhus' face because she was coming in there to hit. She was coming in there to land something big, and she was just fighting on the inside for like the first minute, you know, putting that pressure on Cecilia Brækhus all the way into the second minute. And, you know, throughout the first half of the fight, this was the type of fight that McCaskill wanted. You know, she was coming in there to, I won't say just all-out brawl, because she was setting up a lot of her punches. You know, she does have good head movement. Like, her head movement is old school. You know, she's like dipping and diving, then she'll come back over the top, kind of like Henry Armstrong, really putting that pressure on you. And while she's doing this, you know, Cecilia's trying to find her range with the jab, but at the same time, she's kind of getting drawn into these fighting matches. And whenever she's drawn into the fighting match, by the time she tries to throw something, Jessica McCaskill's already firing off like 2-3 shots. So I'd say in that first half of the fight, I'd say the first 5 rounds, I had it 4-1 for McCaskill, just off of making the champion fight her fight and landing the more effective power shots, in my opinion. You know, again, the CompuBox numbers, they look messed up. They had Cecilia Brækhus landing more shots, I think, in like round 6 or 7. But I felt like McCaskill was landing more punches and landed the more effective punch. You could see it in the body language of Cecilia Brækhus. Like, Cecilia never found her rhythm in this fight. Like, she never just like could stay on the outside and just start jabbing and moving. You know, she was more so waiting to see what Jessica McCaskill was going to bring. And by the time she waited, you know, she's getting hit with like 2-3 shots. Like, she's landing something here and there. You know, she's landing whenever McCaskill exits on the outside. Like, whenever McCaskill exits with her head straight out, you know, she's getting cracked with these right hands. But McCaskill will take a breath, come right back in there, and she'll start earning another minute of every round, you know, like another minute, 30 seconds every round. Like, that last 30 seconds or so, Cecilia Brækhus would come back with something, but the overall, like, control of the pace, it was on McCaskill. Like, she was fighting when she wanted to fight, she could rest when she wanted, and she would clinch when she wanted. So Cecilia Brækhus, to me, just never really found a good rhythm to box in this fight. Her being the more experienced fighter, I wanted to see her jab and move more so from the outside. She landed here and there on the inside and fought and clinched a little bit to save herself from really getting washed in this fight. So I'd say in the second half of the fight, that was whenever Cecilia Brækhus picked up a little bit more. You know, she tried to adapt to what McCaskill was bringing. So I would say up to 5 rounds. I think it was 3-2 for McCaskill. So overall, I think it was about 7 rounds to 3 or 6 rounds to 4 for McCaskill. Hey, you can agree or not, but that's what I saw. I saw a fighter in there putting that high pressure on the experienced boxer, and the experienced boxer didn't know how to make that adjustment. They didn't know how to box with the jab from the long range. I just saw McCaskill come in there and really put it on her. So whenever that last round ended, they both kind of looked like they didn't know where the decision was going to go. And I kind of felt the same way just because I knew that Cecilia Brækhus, she's undisputed, undefeated, and, you know, they might play favoritism here. But I actually felt they did right in this fight. And versus like the Jackson Marinez fight versus Rolando Romero, you can't really call this a robbery here or controversial because she really pressed the action and she was the brawler here. like Romero was in his fight, but she was more so effective against the boxer. Like brawler versus boxer in her case really worked because she was making the boxer fight her fight. But when you looked at the brawler in Romero versus Marinez was outboxing the brawler. Like that brawler didn't know what to do. You know, he looked confused at times and you could see his shots. But McCaskill was actually fighting with more technique than Rolando Romero. You know, you can go back and look at it for yourself. Like she's actually might not throw as much power, but McCaskill was actually like dipping the head, stepping out of range, coming back with the right hand, follow up with the left hook. You know, she's throwing with intensity here, you know, and she's, like I said, making her fighter fight. You know, she had the IQ in this one. So overall, I think that she won 7 rounds to 3. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. But yeah, shout out to Jess McCaskill. She's a new undisputed welterweight champion, and she definitely earned it. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.